What is your biggest piece of advice you could offer to current students that are interested in media sales or broadcasting?
The best thing that I would say to you really is students have to understand that for the professors and the teachers here, it's not just a job. They truly, deep in their hearts, want to help students succeed. They don't have all the resources necessary sometimes. They don't necessarily have all the contacts, but they have more than the students have. And serving on the board as I have, and just hearing all the progress of the department, and hearing sometimes a professor may put a lot of work into something for the students and not many people show up, and it's really heart-wrenching for them. So the best advice that I could truly give people is get to know your professors, get to know the people that are here teaching, but really pick their brains and take advantage of the opportunities that they present, like today. If it's something that in an area that you want, and there's opportunities, whether it's somebody speaking or whether it's a field trip, take advantage of that. You never know where a connection or something you may learn may be. They are phenomenal resources, and they really, truly want to help. The best thing that I did was use all of those people as resources. I'm friends with many of them to this day, 30 years later, because I was very vocal, I was very active, and I really took advantage of those things. That's the best advice I can give students while you're here. Don't try to do it on your own. Seek out that guidance.
How has the College of Communication and Information changed since you were here, and how has that affected your line of work and what you learned here?
It was broadcasting at the time, so my degree actually is in broadcast sales and management. I would say the department, the college has really changed because the business has evolved. Now being about science and information, the various different departments within the college are very different. Before it was journalism, broadcasting, and advertising, very simple. Now the world is a lot more complex. We didn't have labs when I went to school here. There was one computer lab, and I don't even remember the name of the building, and there were about 30 iMacs, and you had to get in line at busy times, but that supplied computers to the entire university, okay? So we didn't have cell phones, all those way of communications. You went to class. There was no, the times were very different. But the college, I think, because we're in the information field, has really been able to build partnerships and progress along with the industry. So while it may take time and money to build a beautiful auditorium like this, compliments in part Larry Patrick, who's a good friend of mine. The technology that is offered to the students of this college in some cases is better than television stations have out there, okay? Some of it's older, some of it's newer. So students really need to get their hands on stuff. I still remember commercials that I made in classes. And even though I'm in sales, I have an understanding of production, I have an understanding of journalism because of the classes that were here. I have an understanding of the engineering of towers. So when I became a general manager and that became part of what my role was, I remembered things that I learned in classes 20 years ago. So if you want this industry, really pay attention to it, and by that participation, I think that helps the college evolve as well, giving feedback. It'd be great if we had this. The college also looks to its students and how it needs to evolve as well. It's what our board is about, helping the college evolve. So the more collaborative students and teachers are, the more that it's going to advance and be better for the students of tomorrow. They've done a great job.
If you could go back to 1989 and talk to Trey Fabacher, freshly out of college,
Wow.
what would you tell him now that you know what you know here in 2016?
Wow. As far as what I did coming out of school, wouldn't change many of those decisions. Just a couple of job decisions that I let my ego get a little bit in the way of. In hindsight, I wouldn't have jumped to a few things. But really, what I did in school here, how I took advantage of it, what I did in the job that I took, and the career path that ended up being what I did for probably the first 10 years out of school, I honestly don't know if I would change. I really don't think that I would. I wouldn't have met my wife. I mean, it's funny how things happen, and then I get placed in my first real full-time paying job to sell, and a month later, after being placed in a city, I meet my future wife. So things happen for a reason that I would never turn the tide back on. But I have the relationships with the professors in the college today because I was that one student along with maybe 2 or 3 others that try to take advantage of everything that they did, maybe to the point of driving them crazy at sometimes, looking for scholarships, trying to do everything that I could. And in the end, it all paid off for me. So that whole process, I'm completely blessed, and I don't know if I would actually change any of that.